Hey YouTube, there's a tier list of all the Chrono classes that have came out recently in heromart. Before I start the video, let me just say this is my opinion. If you disagree, put what you think down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, firstly we're going to start off with Timekeeper now, that's its new name. I think I'd easily put Timekeeper in the S tier. This is because Timekeeper has insane dodge, and so it can pretty much solo any class in the game while also having insane nukes at the same time, which makes it a really good class for soloing any monster by itself. And also, as a bonus, it's really good at PvP, so it can, do more than just soloing. It doesn't have as high DPS as some of the other classes here, but it's definitely up there. Okay, for the next class we have Chrono Corruptor. I think I'd put Chrono Corruptor in C tier. This is because its damage isn't that great, nor is its survivability. It's not the worst class here, but there's not much special about it in comparison to the rest of these calendar classes. Wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. Okay, the next class we have is Chrono Knight. I think I'd put Chrono Knight in B tier. The reason I put Chrono Knight in B tier and not higher, which some people may think, is that it is only a party class, a class you can use with a party. I mean, in comparison to the others at least. By itself, it is not as good as Timekiller or many other classes. Its insane DPS really shines in a party, and that is what it's best at. In a party, I think there's no other class better than it, but without it, it's not that great. It can still do some decent damage soloing, but it hasn't got good survivability, and obviously no good farming either, which is pretty much most of these classes. Okay, for next class we have Corrupted Chronomancer. This class actually hasn't come out yet, but I think it's going to come out early August. A lot of people have been asking me that, and from what I've heard, it should be coming out in August soon. I'd put this in S tier. It has, out of all of these, the highest solo DPS, whilst also, depending on which consumable it uses, it can also have high survivability, and it's just very versatile and high DPS class. I think it easily deserves the S tier. So when it comes out, I would recommend it if you're looking for a soloing class. And next one actually also hasn't come out yet, Nechronomancer. Nechronomancer is pretty much purely a farming class, and it was also coming out early August, about the same time as Corrupted Chronomancer. I'd put this in A tier simply because it's one of the best farmers in the game. Only Legion Revenant and Master of Moglins can beat it in farming. Apart from that, it is really good. And so if you're looking for farming class, I recommend it. Next class is Chrono Commandant. I think I'd put Chrono Commandant in B tier. And I say that because it has pretty good survivability. It can solo one-hit bosses such as Colossal Primarch because of its huge damage reduction. It can't solo classes like Nulgath because it has just way too much damage. I mean, it can't solo monsters like Nulgath, and it has really good nukes as well. It doesn't have nukes as high as some of the other classes, nor does it have dodge like Timekiller, or Timekeeper, I should say. So I wouldn't put it too high, but beta is pretty good, I think. Next class is Chronomancer Prime. For Chronomancer Prime, pretty torn. It pretty much only has damage. That's the only thing it's got going for it. It doesn't have damage reduction or good survivability or farming. So I'd put it in C tier for now. But it has really good nukes, and that's about it. It's just got really good nukes. Great for soloing weak monsters that have high HP. Next class is Shadow Walker of Time. Or in this one it's called Shadow Weaver of Time. I'd put it in A tier because it has slow build up for its nukes, but when it gets going it can spawn kill monsters that have hundreds of thousands of HP. As soon as the monster is born, it can kill it pretty much immediately once it's built up its DOT from the 3 skill. And it's only that useful if you know how to use the class, and it is extremely hard to learn. Some people have made some really good guides on it. A YouTuber called Aryzon, Aryzon, and if you're looking for a guide, I'd suggest looking at that, or I'm going to probably make one soon, so if you'd rather wait for that, you can do that. and also it can farm a little bit, but I wouldn't recommend it. I think its main strength is in just its insane dodge and also its insane DPS. And the next class we have is Empryrean Chronomancer. For Empryrean Chronomancer, I'd put it in B tier because once again it has really high DPS as a soloing class, but it doesn't have great survivability, and it isn't good at really any other field other than soloing. And although it's extremely good at soloing, it just doesn't have anything else going for it to put in A tier or S tier. It's better than the classes below it, but not good enough to reach higher. And finally, our last class is Interstellar Knight. This gets an easy D tier. It is the worst class out of all of these. If there's one class you really shouldn't buy, it's this class. It has very low nukes, which come in the form of a damage over time. It has low survivability, low farming, low everything. I've even made a video on this class, on just how bad it is, and there's just no reason to get it, honestly. So stay away from this class if you're looking for a good class to buy. I hope you liked this tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you found this useful, and like the video. Thanks for watching.